He was the Lamb slain before the foundation of the world. Yet he walked among us as a man. He came with eyes full of compassion, hands that healed, lips that whispered grace. He touched lepers, raised the dead, calmed storms, and forgave sinners. He was love in human form, mercy wrapped in flesh, holiness draped in humility. But the world he came to save spat in his face, and the hour had come. The Savior of the world knelt beneath the weight of sin yet to be carried. Blood poured from his pores like sweat, an agony so intense, even heaven paused. "Father," he cried, "if it be possible, let this cup pass from me." But he did not retreat. "Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done." Then came the betrayal, a kiss from a friend, 30 pieces of silver, a mob armed with clubs and torches, the Prince of Peace arrested like a common criminal, dragged through the night, bound by ropes, but held more by purpose. False witnesses, twisted lies, the Holy One accused by the unholy, the judge of all mankind, standing trial before corrupt men. Pilate could find no fault in him, yet the crowd, drunk with hatred, screamed, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" And Pilate, the coward, washed his hands but not his guilt. They stripped him, the very robe woven for him by love, torn away. They mocked him, twisted thorns into a crown and crushed it into his brow. Blood ran down his face, the King of Kings crowned with suffering. They spat on him, struck him with fists, laughed as they bowed in mockery, but he did not open his mouth. Then came the scourging, a Roman whip embedded with shards of bone, metal, and glass, ripped through holy flesh, again and again and again. Each lash tore into his back like wild beasts, his bones exposed, his muscles shredded, his blood pooling beneath him. 39 stripes, each one speaking, "By his wounds we are healed." And when they had satisfied their cruelty, they forced upon him a rugged cross, splinters digging into shredded skin, a burden not just of wood, but of the sins of all mankind. He stumbled, fell, the weight of the world pressing on the shoulders of the sinless one. Simon of Cyrene was pulled from the crowd, compelled to help carry the cross, but no one could carry the guilt he bore. No one could touch the pain he endured. At Golgotha, the place of the skull, the soldiers made their preparations. They stretched out his hands, iron spikes driven through flesh and bone, first the right hand, then the left, then through his feet. Each blow echoed through eternity, the author of life nailed to a tree. The heavens wept, the earth groaned. They lifted him high, suspended between earth and sky, and there he hung, beaten, bloody, bare, mocked by men, deserted by friends, pierced by pain, crushed by the wrath of justice. Above his head the sign read, "Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews." Oh, but they did not know he was the King of glory, the Lion of Judah, the Son of the living God. And even in agony he spoke words that thunder with love across the ages. "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Forgive the hands that drove the nails. Forgive the mouths that cursed him. Forgive the soldiers who gambled for his robe. Forgive us all." As he hung there, time stood still. Darkness covered the land from noon until 3. Creation mourned. The sun hid its face. Angels held their breath, and the Lamb hung silently in torment. My God, why have you forsaken me?" The cry pierced the heavens, not of doubt, but of divine agony. For the first time in all eternity, the Son was separated from the Father. Because of our sin, he became what he never knew, sin, so we could become what we never deserved, righteousness. He thirsted and was given vinegar. He groaned as his joints dislocated. He bled until there was nothing left. Every prophecy fulfilled, every curse absorbed, until at last, with the weight of the world hanging on every breath, he lifted his bloodied head and declared, "It is finished." The veil in the temple was torn from top to bottom, the divide between God and man destroyed, the curse of sin broken, the power of death defeated. And then he gave up his spirit. The earth shook, rocks split, graves broke open. Even in death, Jesus was shaking the foundations of hell. The centurion who stood nearby whispered, trembling, "Surely this was the Son of God." They took his body down, wrapped it in linen, laid it in a borrowed tomb. The stone rolled over the entrance, and for a moment it seemed like the story had ended. Hope buried, glory silenced, the light of the world extinguished. But oh, child of God, lean in close. The story doesn't end on a cross. The grave could not hold him. Death could not stop him. Hell could not claim him. On the third day, a rumble shook the tomb. The stone rolled away. The guards fell like dead men. And Jesus, our risen King, walked out, triumphant and eternal. He bore the scars, but not the shame. He carried the marks, but not the weight. The Lamb who was slain now stands as the Lion who reigns. Worthy is the Lamb. Glory to the King. He is risen, and he reigns forevermore. He suffered so you could be free. He was pierced so you could be healed. He was forsaken so you would be accepted. He died so you could live. So bow your heart, lift your voice, and never forget. The cross is not just a story. It is the greatest act of love the world has ever known. This is the suffering of Jesus, and he did it for you.